My name is Nelson, your water consultant. Welcome to my YouTube channel. You must have been nursing this idea that you will establish a water factory business. This idea might have spring out as a result of the water around you. You discover that the water factory around you are not actually producing a clean and a potable water before dishing out to the public, and you felt you can do better than them. You can have a clean and a potable water to the public, thereby reducing waterborne diseases. Please, you're welcome on board. I love that passion. Or someone sold out this idea to you that a water factory business is a lucrative business because he knows you have the capacity. And he has told you that every household drinks water. That is true. You drink water, I drink water, everybody drinks water. So it's a business that when you produce, you will sell because everybody will buy. That is true. It's very lucrative if the right management is put in place. However, before you start putting in all your money, before you start putting all your resources in acquiring the machine, in acquiring wherever to ensure that you have a water factory, please let's consider these factors. Very, very important. Factors to consider before setting up a water factory. Number one of it is your site and location. Your site of your water factory is very important. Let's assume that you have a lot of locations in different states. You have land, and you're still contemplating which of the land in the states or in the province that you want to use for this water factory business. Well, these are things you need to consider. First of all, the size of the land. Put into consideration that the minimum of rooms you need in a water factory is 4 minimum. You can have up to 8, you can have up to 9, depending on your architectural designs, but you need a minimum of 4. In my next video, I will let you know the numbers of the minimum 4 that you need. Then you will need a space to park or your trucks for sachet water, your trucks for bottled water. Just imagine you have more than 20 trucks for both sachet distribution and bottle distribution. So you can just imagine the space they would occupy. Then you have your generator stand, you have your transformer stand, and you have other stand, your security stand and what have you. So picture that, and from that you will know the size of land to use, whether you use a plot of land, you use 2 plots of land, you use an hectare, you will use 10,000 square meter, whichever, you should be able to know. Then your site and your location, still on site and location, your site and location should be far away from abattoir, a place where animals have been slaughtered before transferring to the market. It's an abattoir. The dunks, the blood, the urine and everything over there. If your factory is eventually close to it, when there is a rainfall, all the dunks, all the urine, all the blood will be mixed with water, and it will interfere with your underground water. It will contaminate it. So your factory should be far away from abattoir. Your factory should also be far away from cemetery or graveyard. Some graveyard these days are shallow, very shallow, that when there is rainfall, heavy rainfall, it washes out bodies. And you can just imagine a decaying body is being washed, and your factory is very close. It's very close, maybe downhill. There will be a washing of the corpse to your factory. It will contaminate your underground water, it will contaminate your environment, and therefore you will not be comfortable producing water there. Another thing you need to consider is that your water factory should be far away from dumping site. It could be a general dumping site, it could be that locality that are dumping site in that area. Please do not have a water factory there. You can just imagine that when you have a water factory there, rodents, example, rats, could always come visiting your factory And when you have your caps on ground, you have your blown bottle on ground, or you have your printed nylon or production material on ground, they will play with them. They will cause contamination, and probably it has already passed through the air sterilizer, unknown to you that rat has actually come in contact with it, and you produce it, your water will fail. So please, your water factory should not be close to a dumping site, very far away from it, so that even when there is a rainfall and all the dumps that is there is being washed to your factory, it will contaminate your underground water. That is why it has to be far from a dumping site. That also need to be far away from the petrol station, your diesel station, your kerosene station, because most of the time there are spillage. And if there are spillage from these stations, it can come in contact with your underground water because of nearness to it. And then before you know, when you're pumping out your water, you'll be pumping out diesel, you'll be pumping out kerosene, you'll be pumping out fuel, and it will make you to have it will overwork your purification machines, your RO. You keep changing them, you keep changing your membrane, you keep changing other machines in the factory, because it might end up not be able to take those things out. That is why it has to be far from that place. And then before, let me not forget, your location or your site should be very close to the market. A lot of persons have made a mistake. You have a water factory, and then your truck must drive like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, or 10 minutes before they get to their customer, their first customer. That is not good. You've wasted some fuel, you've wasted some wear and tears occur before reaching that place, and then the sachet water is very heavy. So if you're having a factory for a sachet water, please let it be close to the market. If it is bottling factory, there's a bottle, if bottle is being produced here and it's 30 minutes, 20 minutes drive before you get to your final consumer or before you get to your major distributor, that is not bad, because bottle can cross states, bottle can cross province, bottle can even cross country as well. So bottle is not limited to whether it's close to your consumers, whether it's close to your distributor. Bottle from anywhere can get to whoever that needs the bottled water. Also, very, very important, while you have that land, ensure that you can have access to power. You can have access to power. You can have access to electricity. Because if you don't have access to electricity, it will be very difficult for you to run the business. You keep running your production on generator, either fuel generator or diesel generator. It's not profit effective. It is not cost effective. So please ensure that you are able to tap electricity from the source, and tapping to your place is not as far that you don't have the resources to tap. Ensure that all the phases, especially 3-phase, because most of the machines that are being produced has 3-phase. If you send in 2-phase, it will not carry those machines. You send a single phase, it will not carry those machines. So please ensure that the power, electricity, comes in 3-phase, and with that you'll be at peace, because production and every activity is done using what? Electricity. It's very, very important. Let's consider the next factor. The next factor is your survey and borehole drilling. Now, you've ensured that the site is not close to contaminants that will either contaminate your groundwater, that will contaminate your raw material, that will contaminate your whole factory, that will make even your workers to be sick. Then the next thing is, you now need a survey and you need to drill your borehole. Why do you need a survey? Now you have a plot of land already, you have your land. Then the next thing you need to do is get an hydrogeologist to come and survey for your borehole drilling. Do not gamble Do not say, ah, there is water in this place, there's water in this place, and then you bring in your drilling machines and they start drilling. At the end of the day, they will not have water. Call an hydrogeologist. He will take his geological survey. He will write a report on the best depth to go, the best feet to go. He might say, ah, go 150 feet. He might say, no, go 200 feet. He might say, no, go 120 feet. Whichever advice he gives to you, because remember that it is not a domestic borehole you're drilling. No, it is not a domestic borehole. You're drilling an industrial borehole, a borehole that will serve industrial purposes. Because why I'm saying that it will serve industrial purposes is that in your home, what do you have? You just use water for washing, use water for bathing. You use water for still washing, cleaning, washing your utensils and what have you. So you see, and then when you go to toilet, you flush out with your water. So you don't have much water to waste. In a water factory, you lose out more than even you use in production. That means the machine called arrow gives as waste is sometimes much more than the one it gives in for production. And that is why you need to make necessary preparation arrangement to have a good volume of water from your borehole. And let me tell you that if you want to venture into either sachet production or bottling production, the least borehole you should have in mind is 3 or 4, least 3 or 4. Just know that 3 or 4, and ensure that you drill your borehole to the advised depth, because of that purpose of what? Industrial borehole, so that you don't have issue with water scarcity. Now quickly, let's go to the next factor. The next factor is raw water analysis. Raw water analysis. Now let me tell you something. The raw material that is needed in a water factory, it's not your leather, it's not your bottle, it's not your preform, it's not your cap. The raw material, take note, is your water. It's your water. The day that your borehole, either your 3 borehole, your 4 borehole, cease to give you water because there was a mistake in drilling, that day production is shut down. That day business is shut down until you rectify it. And that is why, let me take you back again, that whoever that is helping you to drill this borehole, enter an agreement with them. Do not use a different person as your hydrogeologist. Use the company hydrogeologist, so that at the end of the day, if the borehole is drilled and there's not sufficient water, you can hold the company liable and say, look at your geological survey and look at what you've drilled for me. There's no water. So what do we do? At that point, you could reach an agreement so that at the end of the day, it will be a win-win. Where you look for a different person who did your survey, and then you look for a different company to drill your borehole. Sometimes the company drilling will say that they actually use the recommendation in your geological report to drill, and at the end of the day, you'll be caught in the middle of all this. And remember, it's your money you're using, it's your money you're spending, you're the one paying. And whoever that is drilling, ensure that you have an experienced person with them, so that they will drill it to that depth. Not that while they are drilling and as soon as they come in contact with water, hey, everybody starts shouting, hey, there's water, and everybody will start jumping. That is not the end of it. Ensure that it gets to the recommended depth, so that you have a good volume of water for your water factory. Then the next thing is, like I made mention, your raw water analysis. Now you have enough water from your borehole 1, your borehole 2, your borehole 3, your borehole 4, your borehole 5, depending on your vision for your factory. Depending on your vision for your water factory. If you have a good vision, and if you want to cover ground, you want to cover market, you want your water to go very far, then we should be counting your borehole 10, your borehole 20, your borehole 30. Whichever one, ensure that you have an analysis for all your borehole from the water analysis, both the microbial analysis, the chemical analysis, and the physical analysis, you should be able to tell what kind of machines you need for the purification, for the filtration, and for the germicidal from the analysis, where you discover that the microbiology is much, certain microbiology is much, or when you discover that there's much cyanide, or when you discover that this borehole, the water is very hard, this borehole has more alum than the others, then you should know the kind of machines to use, either the kind of filtration machine to use, or you discover that this borehole is more turbid than the other one. There's enough water but it's turbid, so that you can know the kind of machines to buy. So you need to analyze all the borehole one after the other. And this raw water analysis could be done in any of the public analysis laboratory close to you. Put a call close to somebody. They will give you the right direction of where to analyze your water, but it's very, very important. And then the next factors you need to consider is your factory buildings. Your factory building. I've mentioned earlier on that you need a minimum of four rooms. And what are the rooms? You need your production room, very big, where all your machine will enter, whether your sachet machine will enter, your bottling line will enter, all the line, right from the feeder, right from to your micro, to your monoblock, to your shrinking, down to your packaging, depending on the size of all the machine you have. That is why I say the arrangement and the machine in your factory, it's all about your visions, your coverage. So you need a big hall for your production, and then you need another room that will serve as a finished room, your finished product room. After all your production, from either sachet or bottle, there's going to be a room where you keep them before the driver will come in, move them out to your consumer, to your distributor. So that one, so you need it as a hall. You need it as a hall. Then you need your material room, where material being bought, either your preform, either your cap, either your printed nylon, either your string, whatever material that you use for production. You need a place, a room to keep them, where it will be air sterilized, and then before moving into production. Then you have what? Your administrative offices, where you have room for your manager, you have room for your accountant, where you have your general office that all the staff are. Then your clock room is also there, your changing room, all fitting into the production room. So those are the buildings that you need, your security rooms and any other building that you felt that it's good in the factory, but the four that I mentioned is the most important in your factory. Then another factor you need to consider is your trademark and company registration. Trademark is a symbol. It's a symbol or a sign which differentiates the goods and services of one business from another one. It differentiates if there's an existing water in the market that is Nelson's water, and then you want to come in with your water, you want to come in with Frank water. The Frank is Frank table water. It's your trademark. No one else will get that Frank table water except you. So you need a trademark, and your trademark can come either in form of a symbols only. You can use a symbol as your trademark, so that anybody that see that symbol, it cannot be duplicated anywhere. Or you can use words, like I said, Nelson's table water, or I can say Aminat's table water, or I can say Zion table water, or I can say Divine table water. Now, the Divine, the Zion, is the trademark of that factory. Divine table water, Zion table water. Or it can be a mix of words and logo. Then you register them separate. You register it with a logo, or you register it with what? With a word. So both of them can serve at the same time, so that in your label, either your sachet label or your bottling label, we have your logo, we have what? Your words. So both of them will serve, or you can do them single, either as a symbol or as a word. Then on a quick one, your company registration, that's talking about CAC. I don't want to go deep into that because your location differ. So I don't want to tell you what you need to do in registering your company. But all I know is that either you want it to be a sole proprietor, just only you, or you want it to be a limited liability company. You have other people that will share in the profit and in the loss, whichever. But you need to register it as a company in your state or in your country that you have. Then, when you've done that, and then you now have what? Your equipment, your machine, and your storage. Your equipment, all the equipment you need, whatever equipment you're looking for, put this at the back of your mind, that this equipment, it's meant to do three things. Three things first. It means to filter the water, it is meant to purify the water, and it is meant to kill germs in the water, germicidal equipment. That is it. And then another thing that you need is what? Your storage tank. Your tank comes in different sizes. Your tank comes in 5,000 liter. Your tank comes in 7,005 liter. Your tank comes as much as 30,000 liter, as much as 100,000 liters. I told you, it's the vision. You can have a tank as a tank as much as 20,000 liter, 30,000 liter, 50,000 liter, 100,000 liter, depending on what? On your visions. Now, you already have your machines, you have your equipment, you have your sachet machines, you have your bottling machines, and everything are set to go. Your building is there, you've considered all other factors. Then, business begin. So you start buying other raw material to come in, and then you can kickstart your business. After you've gotten a vehicle, I wouldn't tell you the numbers of vehicles to buy, but you know you need a vehicle because you must take this water, this product's water, to your consumers. You must take it to your distributor. If you like this video, please support by sharing this video. Support also by subscribing. Just click on the subscribe button and subscribe. Thank you very much. I remain your water consultant, Nelson.